After the horrific murder last week of Rabbi Raziel Shevach, an amazing man, a husband and a father of 6, there has been a manhunt throughout the northern Shomron to bring the terrorists who brought his incredible life to an untimely end a week ago. So many people in Israel were taken with the noble character of Rabbi Raziel Shevach, a rabbi, a revered teacher, a mohel, a person of enormous kindness, a volunteer for Magen David Adom, who everybody who knew him said that they felt so often they were touched by an angel. Positive, unbridled love for all people, all human beings, and all Jews. And as we know, his life was brought to an abrupt end by murderous terrorists driving past his car and shooting 16 bullets into the car and eventually killing him. For an entire week, throughout the area of the northern Shomron, Israeli special forces, the IDF special forces, were looking for the perpetrators, and indeed this week they were brought to justice. We pray for the soldiers who were injured in the operation, but we take comfort in the fact that perpetrators of murder and acts of terror in Israel cannot find refuge anywhere, and they will eventually be hunted down by the IDF and brought to justice. Justice is a very powerful thing, and in fact forms one of the major foundations in this week's Parsha, in a fascinating court case which took place, according to the Talmud, in front of Alexander the Great. The Gemara tells us in Masechet Sanhedrin 91a of the children of Egypt, the descendants of the children of Mitzrayim, of the generation of the coming out of Egypt, come to Alexander the Great and demand justice. They say, after all, it says in this week's Parsha Bull, that when the Jewish people, Bnei Israel, left Mitzrayim, they left having, so to speak, emptied out Mitzrayim. It says, Vayinatzlut Mitzrayim. They took so much of the Egyptian property, so many kelim and beautiful vessels, literally emptying out Mitzrayim. Said the descendants, we want our payback. So much of our property was pillaged as these people left Egypt. The Talmud continues that the defender, the advocate of the Jewish people, says to Alexander the Great, no, this is not an injustice. This is the minimum of justice. This is in fact minimal payment for over 210 years of horrific, unfair, unjust slavery and pillaging the lives and property of the Jewish people as slaves for hundreds of years. Alexander the Great hears and says, you are correct. No injustice was done. On the contrary, this is an act of justice. At the heart of Yetziat Mitzrayim is this sense of justice. To the victims of so many years of slavery, minimal payment, a sense of vindication coming out of Egypt, B'yad Ramah, and to those perpetrators, so to speak, getting what came to them, to Pharaoh and all those who terrorized the Jewish people for so long. We are privileged to live in an era with the state of Israel, where even though murderous terrorist attacks happen, but at the same time there is nowhere where one can run and hide and perpetuate injustices without reprisal and without being brought to task for those events. May we all in our personal and collective lives continue to be able to see and experience a deeper sense of justice and righteousness in all of our actions and their consequences. Shabbat Shalom.